2 more deep belly breaths here. Feeling the belly expand, the ribs spread apart, and the chest rise. And then as you exhale, maybe you find a little more depth. Deep inhalation in, and a big sigh out. Slowly walking your hands back to center. And then taking your left leg and placing it in the middle of your mat. We're going to unravel the same way that we came in. So placing your right hand towards the top of the mat, and as you inhale, big press up with the hips. Finding that fallen triangle again. Circling the left hand towards the front of the mat, rolling onto the ball of the left toes. Inhale, reach the leg high. 3-legged dog. Drawing the toes down towards the earth, letting them meet the mat. Inhale, ripple the spine forward. And maybe perhaps this time you take a knees down, lie down cobra. Feeling the gentleness and softness in your body after that forward fold. And then rolling the spine to find Bhujangasana. Releasing the forehead down towards the mat, tuck the toes, lift the sitting bones. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. From here, drawing the hips high, coming onto the balls of the toes as you roll the spine forward to plank. This time shifting the weight back, rolling onto the knife edge of your right foot. Inhale, sweep the left hand up towards the sky. Again, finding that side plank. Finding the modification of stepping the left foot forward, stacking one foot on top of the other, or perhaps finding a tree pose by pressing the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Strong and stable here. Now, whichever modification you've chosen, stepping the foot behind you, lowering the hips down towards the earth. Inhale, reaching the hips high, lifting up, finding a wild thing. Breathing here, reaching the fingertips up and over, lifting the chest high. And then a big circle with the left hand, so the left hand comes in contact with the earth as you pivot the right toes. Threading the left foot underneath the hips. Inhale, reaching the right hand up, fallen triangle. Now you can keep your foot on the mat or on the ground here, or you can lift the toes up, scissoring the thighs together. Gazing up, looking up, reaching up. And then gently, if your foot's lifted, drawing the toes down towards the earth and sliding the hips down towards the mat. We're going to take one more forward fold here, perhaps finding a little more depth than we last had. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, walking the fingertips forward. Toes flexed up towards the ceiling, and seeing the length that I create with the spine. Finding this length and then folding over. So I'm feeling quite comfortable here. If you have a bolster or a pillow, a couple of pillows and a blanket that you want to stack, can be really nice just to release yourself into the pose. I really love the use of props in my practice, so don't be afraid to use them. They just make you find more depth within the pose. You can relax a little bit more into the pose. It's just such a yummy feeling. So if you have them available at home, I really recommend you use them. And if you don't, you can always find things around the house. Pillows, blankets, scarves you can use as straps. I sometimes use books as blocks. So being creative in your practice and creative in your use of props. So then now just closing down the eyes, and letting yourself fold forward. Remember the engagement of the legs. And with every exhalation, you find a little more grounding. You surrender into the pose a little bit deeper. 2 more deep belly breaths here. A deep inhalation into the belly and a big sigh out. Slowly walking your hands back towards the midline. We're going to unravel ourselves the same way that we came in. So you can bend the right knee, place the foot in the middle of the mat, and place the left fingertips towards the front. As you inhale, you lift the hips nice and high, extending into the fallen triangle. Windmill the right hand towards the front of the mat. Pivot the back toes and lift the left leg up towards the ceiling, finding a one-legged downward facing dog before letting the foot come in contact with the earth. From here, inhale, ripple the spine forward, pressing the earth away from you, doming through the upper back, lowering the knees down towards the earth, uncurling the toes, wrapping the elbows and bending the elbows close towards the rib cage. Inhale as you ripple the spine up towards Bhujangasana. Exhale, drawing the forehead to the mat, tucking the toes, pressing up, and shifting back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale as you ripple forward to plank, drawing the shoulders over the wrists, and then drawing the right knee into the chest. Letting the knee trace down the arm as you release the right knee underneath the right wrist. Sliding the left foot behind you and lowering the hips down towards the earth. So coming into a pigeon pose here. Extending the right leg to a degree that you find comfortable. So if you want to find a deeper sensation in the pose, then releasing the ankle towards the front of the mat. But if you find that you want to just kind of relax more into the pose, then feel free to draw the heel towards the hips. If you find your hip is lifting quite high off the floor, then feel free to place a blanket or a jumper underneath your sitting bones. And then just begin to walk your hands forward. Letting your elbows come in contact with the earth. And you may stay here, or you may begin to continue walking your hands further forward. Letting your belly come in contact with your leg and surrendering into the pose. Taking a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Just letting yourself surrender into the mat. Letting gravity take control here. And just drawing your awareness to your breath. And the deep inhalations. And the soft, gentle exhalations. Closing down the eyes. And just beginning to find a little bit of stillness here. Two more deep belly breaths. Bringing a little bit of presence back in your body. Drawing the breath deep into the belly. And a big sigh out. One more like this. And begin to bring a little bit of weight into the palms as you slowly walk your hands back towards the midline, shifting the weight onto the outer hip and drawing the left leg towards the front of the room. So the right knee is pointing towards the front of the mat and you cross the left foot over the right thigh. Inhale as you reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, drawing the right elbow on the outside of the right thigh, hooking the elbow over the thigh, and walking the left hands behind you, creating a nice spinal twist from the navel. And as you breathe in, you find length in the spine, reaching the crown of the head long. And as you exhale, you begin to find a little bit more depth. So seeing if you can walk the fingertips maybe perhaps a little bit further behind you. Opening through the collarbones. Opening through the heart space. And on your next inhalation, releasing your chest back towards the front of the room. Placing your feet out in front of you and then just windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Drawing the knees to the left and to the right. Just giving a nice little massage to the hips. And you can even bring your fingertips into this. Continuing the twist from the hips all the way up to the tips of the fingers. And then from here, walking yourself back to a plank position, being really gentle and mindful of the movements that you create now. You're in a nice, soft, vulnerable state. And then from here, drawing the left knee into the chest, releasing and tracing the left knee down the left arm before your knee finds contact with the earth. Releasing the ankle behind the right wrist and letting the toes slide behind you. Again, if you used a blanket on the right side, just maybe bringing a blanket underneath the right hip. Finding any degree that your foot wants to walk forward or more towards the pelvis, depending on the sensation that you'd like to feel. And then just beginning to close down. So even if your hands and palms are ground on the floor and you're not walking forward, you can just begin to soften the eyes and drawing yourself into the sensation in your body. Perhaps those people who might find a little bit more depth in the pose by walking their fingertips forward, you can just begin to close down. Finding that same softness that you found in the face, in the body. With every breath, you find a little bit more depth with the hips, as if gravity is drawing you into your mat. And you're peeling away any layers of tension, anything that you're holding on to that doesn't serve you anymore. Just begin to release that through the breath. Perhaps you may find contact with your forehead on the mat. And if any thoughts begin to arise, just letting them drain through the point between the eyebrows. Anything that doesn't serve you, just draining it away through the third eye center. And releasing it down towards the earth. Taking a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Slowly beginning to bring a bit of weight into the palms as you slowly walk your hands back towards the midline, shifting the weight onto the left hip as you draw the right knee towards the front of the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. Inhale as you reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, hooking the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Now you can place your hand facing towards the back of the mat, or you may find contact with the earth as you sweep the right hand up and over. Inhale to find length through the spine, the back of the neck, all the way extending to the tip of the crown. And as you exhale, you twist a little bit deeper, perhaps even walking your fingertips more towards the back of your sacrum. If it's comfortable for the neck, you may draw it towards the side of your mat, or the back of your mat even. Breathing light into the belly and using that light to twist all around your spine before releasing the breath through the nose. Inhale for length and exhale for depth. And on your next inhalation, walking your hands back to center, releasing the spine. And again, just placing your feet towards the front of your mat, windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Nice little massage of the glutes, of the hips. And then from here, just softly rolling yourself down onto your back. So coming and finding your vertebra come in contact with the earth. And just releasing the lumbar spine down towards the mat as you draw the knees in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around the shins and a gentle rock from side to side. From here, finding happy baby as you extend your feet towards the ceiling, drawing the knees down towards the earth. And seeing if you can find contact with your whole sacrum. So drawing the sacrum down towards the mat as you extend the feet up towards the sky. Breathing into the belly, releasing the hips. Last few rounds of conscious breath here. Drawing the knees into the chest, a gentle shift from side to side, and feel free to take whatever pose you feel. Any last movement, shape, posture you need before finding a shavasana. So extending the left leg to the left corner of the mat, extending the right leg to the right corner of the mat and opening the palms to the sky. Closing down the eyes. Relaxing the face. Licking the space around your teeth with your tongue. releasing any tension from the jaw. Placing a bit of weight in the head as you lift the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades down towards the earth, opening the heart space towards the sky as an offering. Letting the spine come in contact with the mat as the navel sinks down towards the earth. Letting go of the hips and the thighs. Releasing the calves and letting the toes roll to the outer edges of the mat. Deep breath in, full exhalation out. One more like this. Fully letting go. This is a little quote from Walt Whitman. I exist as I am. That is enough. If no other in the world, be aware I sit content. And if each and all be aware, I sit content. One world is aware, and by the far the largest to me, and that is myself. And whether I come to my own today, or in 10,000 or 10 million years, I can cheerfully take it now, or with equal cheerfulness, I can wait. Beginning to deepen the breath and bring a little bit of presence back inside the body. Creating some small movements in the fingers and the toes. Perhaps rubbing the pads of the fingers and the thumbs together. And on your next inhalation, reaching your hands up above your head and taking a full-bodied stretch all the way from your fingertips down to your toes. Circling the knees into the chest and giving yourself a well-deserved hug. Showing a little bit of love and gratitude towards yourself today. Taking a moment here, however long you need. And when you feel ready, begin to roll onto whichever side you feel more comfortable. Making a pillow with the bicep. And enjoying this vulnerable embryo pose right now. In your own time, keeping your eyes closed, slowly pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Placing the hands at heart center. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my own thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the happiness and freedom of all beings. It's been such a great honor to share a little bit of practice with you guys today. Keep smiling, keep safe, keep clean. Love and light. Namaste.